NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Suffolk County Police say a fourth suspect has now been identified in connection with a fatal home break-in in East Islip. It happened last Wednesday morning at a home on East Adams Street. Police say 3 men broke into the home and shot a dog in the house before they were confronted by a resident with a shotgun, who shot and killed one of the intruders. Another intruder was shot and taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. The third intruder escaped. Well, now police say a fourth man has been arrested, identified as 25-year-old Martin Tarpey of Mattituck. He's been charged with first-degree robbery, and that shot dog was expected to survive. The armed resident was not charged, and police say they believe the house had been targeted. Today, the Department of Homeland Security unveiled a new terror alert system that they say will replace the current color-coded system, which has been in effect since the 9/11 attacks. They say the new system will have 2 parts, clearly indicating whether a threat is either elevated or imminent. The new warnings could be conveyed to the public through Facebook and Twitter, and unlike the color system, the alerts will have expiration dates. The new warning system is expected to go into effect next week. The past system described the threat in 5 colors, from green, low risk, to red, severe. More than a dozen counties in North Carolina were declared disaster areas this week after hundreds of homes were either damaged or destroyed by more than 24 confirmed tornadoes that touched down in the state over the weekend. Tornadoes can be devastating, so there are many scientists whose job it is to track them down and study them. And one storm chaser was at a Long Island museum recently describing what it's like to see a tornado up close. Adrienne Hara has the story.
Tornadoes may not be a common occurrence on Long Island, but they were recently up close and personal for these Long Island students. After studying tornadoes for several weeks, the life science students traveled to the Cradle of Aviation Museum in Garden City to meet a research scientist and real-life storm chaser and to get a better understanding of the natural phenomenon.
We're studying all kinds of new things. We're seeing what's inside tornadoes. We're seeing what's inside hurricanes. It's really interesting, and I have a lot of fun. I feel really lucky being a scientist.
Well, here on Long Island, it's important to know how storms are created and the science behind them.
The students had the opportunity to get hands-on with special radar equipment, see footage of an actual tornado, and have all their questions answered by Werman, someone who has been up close to over 170 tornadoes. Talk about being in the eye of the storm. The students had a chance to sit in this Doppler on wheels. It's a truck with a mounted weather radar that allows researchers to get better accuracy and detail by putting them right in the path of the storm.
The class went in a truck, and there was computers all over that was showing where the tornadoes are. And I saw the coast and how it's clear or if it's not clear.
Although the field trip to the museum included a lot of cool gadgets and a movie on tornadoes, Werman says he hopes the students will take away much more.
And I hope that kids either become scientists or just appreciate what scientists do so they can learn more about what scientists are telling them about the world around them.
In Garden City, Adrienne Hara, LI News Tonight.
A yellow lab named Lucas is back at home on Long Island after a ride in a stolen SUV. Police say a woman noticed Lucas in the parked vehicle in Central Islip yesterday and called his family after finding their insurance card in the glove compartment. Police say the SUV was stolen Monday night in Ronkonkoma while the owner dashed into a gas station, leaving the car running. Lucas owners say they're grateful and relieved to have Lucas back. A recent event looking into cyberbullying concluded that better communication between youngsters, schools, and parents can be a helpful deterrent to this growing problem, as Tara Evans reports.
In 4th grade, I was a victim of cyberbullying.
It started for me in 7th grade, and that's pretty young.
Internet or cyberbullying is a growing problem facing young people today and can include embarrassing comments, pictures, and videos posted about you. Many young people say it can be worse than being bullied in person.
People are more willing to say things online than they would be in a person's face.
Cyberbullying made national headlines following the suspected cyberbullying-related suicide deaths of several teenagers, including 17-year-old Alexis Pilkington from right here on Long Island just last year, showing just how devastating it can be. But events like the Internet Safety and Bullying Prevention Conference held at Hofstra University in Hempstead recently are working to change that by getting those who interact with children the most up to speed on the power of the Internet.
Knowing how to address that, I think, is really important for educators, because when I went to my principal and me and a couple students were proactive, the principal didn't really know what to do.
You don't understand what you can do and what you're able to do online.
What better way for parents to learn how to use Facebook and Twitter than from the actual youth who are using it every day?
Students who've experienced cyberbullying say that communication between students, parents, and educators is key. And sometimes a more creative means like a game like this can be used, or sometimes it's as simple as just talking to your child.
The best thing to do is be open with them so they'll talk to you about what's going on online.
These students say support from parents and educators is critical for a bullied child because they need to know they're not alone.
Being part of this event makes me feel great because it gives me a chance to tell the parents and the teachers that they have to look to their kids and ask them information and be involved in their life to make sure that they're not being bullied.
In Hempstead, Tara Evans, LI News Tonight.
It was an up day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day up almost 187 points. NASDAQ was up 57.5 points, and the S&P was up 17.75 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
See a screening of the film The Last Detail at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, April 27th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Celebrate the 41st anniversary of Earth Day at the Heckscher State Park Spring Festival in East Islip on Saturday, April 30th and Sunday, May 1st from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. For more information, call 631-321-3510. There's an Arbor Day Family Festival at Planting Fields Arboretum State Historic Park in Oyster Bay on Saturday, April 30th and Sunday, May 1st from 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. For more information, call 516-922-8676. Or walk to remember the children killed in the Holocaust at the Wellman Preserve in Glen Cove on Sunday, May 1st at 10 a.m. For more information, call 516-571-8040. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
Some headlines around the world today. France and Italy are promising more help for opponents of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya. They say they'll join Britain in sending military advisors to help the rebels break a stalemate on the battlefield. And France says it will step up its airstrikes against Libyan military targets. France's foreign ministry also said it already has military liaison officers on the ground in the rebel-held city of Benghazi. The officers are trying to help the rebels organize and bolster the NATO air campaign that has failed to rout Gaddafi's military. It's reported a leading global health fund believes that millions of dollars worth of its donated malaria drugs have been stolen in recent years, much more than it had previously discovered. The internal investigation by the Global Fund to Fight AIDS, Tuberculosis, and Malaria suggests hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the drugs may have been stolen, although it confirms the theft of only $2.5 million worth of medicine. A Global Fund spokesman reportedly confirmed the broad outlines of those documents. And Western diplomats say several nations are negotiating for an emergency session of the United Nations top human rights body to examine the government crackdowns on unrest that have swept the Middle East and North Africa. Diplomats say a special session of the UN Human Rights Council could take place in Geneva as soon as next week. Diplomats confirmed that Egypt, Tunisia, Libya, Yemen, Bahrain, and Syria would be among the nations whose violent suppression of protests would be on the agenda. When someone is far from home, there's nothing like a familiar food to make them feel more connected to family and friends. So, as Jody Goldberg reports, American soldiers stationed in the Mideast will soon be receiving a taste of home, courtesy of the Girl Scouts.
These Girl Scouts are helping load cookies onto a truck headed to JFK Airport. They're at Girl Scout headquarters in Garden City taking part in Operation Cookie. These cartons of tagalongs, trefoils, and thin mints have been donated by cookie fans and military supporters who want to help lift the spirit of our troops. And Girl Scouts we spoke with say they're happy to help.
It makes me feel proud to be serving the servicemen and women because they really work for our country.
Kavita is a senior member of the East Meadow Girl Scouts chapter and says she donated money too.
It's like an empowering feeling to know like you bought cookies here but it's going across the country.
And it's Girl Scout cookies like these that are going overseas to help give our troops a little taste of home. This assembly line is only the first leg of a journey to the Middle East. A spokesperson from DHL Shipping says more than 1 million cookies will be flown by 767 to Europe and then Bahrain. That's where the 45,000 boxes of sweet treats will be distributed to military bases. And this soldier who represents his brothers and sisters overseas says receiving these cookies gives them a sense of closeness.
Like they're at home because these cookies are hitting their heart. They know that it's from the Girl Scouts. They know it's from America. And they need some sweetness in their life at this time when things are not, well, because they have their loved ones here.
In Garden City, Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
New York's Coney Island has opened its first new roller coasters since the famed Cyclone was built back in the 1920s. 4 new thrill rides were launched today, known collectively as the Scream Zone. The rides operate alongside the Luna Park rides that opened last year and are part of the city's renewal plan for the Brooklyn Amusement Park, which had fallen into disrepair over the years. The city has contributed more than $6 million toward the cost of the new rides for Luna Park and Scream Zone. Mayor Bloomberg predicts this summer will draw the biggest number of visitors to Coney Island in more than half a century. Well, after a foggy and cloudy morning, we had some scattered afternoon clouds and a little bit of the sun. The high today was in the upper 60s. Tonight, chance of some isolated thunderstorms with a low in the upper 40s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy and windy, a high up around 60 degrees. Friday should be cloudy, a high in the low 50s. Saturday, rain expected with a high up near 60. And the outlook for Sunday, chance of showers with a high around 60 degrees. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.